Look at this. Boom. Can you imagine being that car behind that truck when that happens?
You know, the sickening thing is this is happening almost weekly in Metro Vancouver, all over BC. And I don't know what the heck is going on because there's so many of them. You can't even keep them straight. Let's just run through some of the most recent ones. There was an overpass hit. This one was...
Last week.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah. When we were like, again?
Yeah.
This is almost its own what the hell is wrong with people segment, right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So then there was the overpass hit on Highway 1. So there's investigating. There was, you know, in the tunnel.
Yep, the one on 17.
There was a big truck that scraped its roof along the thing. That company has actually been, had the fleet suspended.
Yeah.
This company $2,000 fine and the repairs to the overpass.
How many million?
Something million.
Yeah, 1.8 million, and that's the Highway 17 overpass, which is on the way out to South Surrey White Rock or Tsawwassen, and what it messed up all fall, because it happened in the summer, all fall and winter. It just reopened, and it's like, when will it happen again? That's where we're at now. When will it happen again? Not if
like I said, it's probably happening as we speak. So we thought we would reach out to the head of the BC Trucking Association, Dave Earle, and go, what the heck is going on, Dave?
Really, when we look into it and we think about it and look at all the findings, there's a degree of complacency that's really come into the industry. A lot of these moves where they've hit over the past few years have been individuals moving their own equipment, not securing it properly, not configuring it properly. Some of them, there's been equipment failures as they moved along. Some have been honest mistakes where individual driver may have missed a turn or not actually followed their permit. But a whole bunch of them are people just not doing what they need to do. And when we look at that, we say it's complacency. We've worked with the ministry. We've got new penalties in place, new consequences in place, and we've got meetings set up all this month to start moving on other issues in terms of education and outreach. But really, the overpasses didn't move. The requirements haven't changed. The law hasn't changed. People just aren't paying attention to what they need to pay attention to, and that has to change. And so we're going to work really diligently at that.
I love the fact that this is the BC Trucking Association that's saying that, because there's a handful of truckers who are making the entire industry look really bad, right? Like this is not normal. This is not something that we have always gone, oh yeah, you know, there are usually overpasses hit all the time. There are routes, you know what size your load is. They literally measure it with a string. It's not difficult to figure out the height of your load.
I think that, you know, on occasion, you can make just a random error,
Sure.
But I think that if a company's had repeated strikes, like Chohan Trucking, right?
Yeah.
Or if a driver has repeatedly hit something, I think they should take your truck away, sell it, and use that money to help pay for the repairs. Because as a taxpayer, I don't want to pay for your, I was going to swear, I don't want to pay for your stupid behavior. Come on.
And when you're talking about Chohan too, this is the other loophole that drives me bonkers, because they suspend the trucking company and remove their vehicles, their fleet can note, and then they're like, oh, well, we'll just use our brother's company in Alberta to do all of the trucking for us. So there's really no damage. And then you look at what Dave Earle was saying there, that the fines are not even barely in line. What was it, $575 up until a recent
No, they're up to like
but it was, for the longest time, it was $575. You hit it, that's it.
But you know, there has to be some more simple solutions. And a viewer had one, she sent us this photo. It said, how about this? This is the answer. And so what it was is that, there you go, if you hit this sign, you will hit that bridge.
Right.
Can we not do that? I know it's low rent, but if you just hang it at a certain level,
they do it in parkades.
If a semi is screaming by, wonk, oh, hit the brakes, not going that way. It can't be that hard. The other thing that is a little bit of a problem is I think they're throwing some of these truckers on the road with very little training. Some of them are even new.
Or they're exhausted.
Newcomers
There's
to
that as well.
Canada.
Yeah, or trying to keep up with the supply chain and the pressures and you got to get there faster, and we're tracking you like with an Apple AirTag to make sure that you're on the road and you're hitting, you know, there's a lot of pressure for sure. There are a lot of moving parts here, but at the end of the day, public safety is at risk when it comes to this. Like I said, right off the top, imagine being the car behind the truck with the bucket up that hits the overpass.
Yeah, and luckily that doesn't happen very often, but the reality is that it is happening often enough that it is holding up, messing up the commute and costing taxpayers a ton ton of money that is really, really unfair. It's your trucking company, it's your driver, you pay. Why aren't they paying? It's got to be a lucrative business. Maybe Chohan Trucking should pay the $1.5 million to replace the overpass or repair it. And if they can't afford it, then maybe they will be harder on their drivers, saying, you better damn well not hit an overpass.
They'll triple check
on this trip.
Quadruple. It really comes down to, again, what Dave was saying there. There's human error, and then there's
laziness,
complicit. When you're just like, let's roll.
Yeah.
And when the punishment isn't even close to meeting the damages, we have a broken system. So the frustration, but honestly, Linda, like how many times we're in episode 20 of season 2. I think we've had it in almost every show.
I can't even keep track of them anymore.
Ridiculous.
It's sort of like Trump's criminal trials and things. I'm like, which one are we talking about? There's too many of them.
Isn't he at it right now? Didn't you just in the commercial break read out?
He, in the last hour, has tweeted or True Socialed or whatever his stupid site is called about E. Jean Carroll, the woman he sexually assaulted and is up and owes her money. He's just, I don't know her, I don't like her, she's ugly, and all the rest of it. And I was like, you are such an idiot. I really want him to go to jail.
I just
Consequences.
wound her up right there. We shifted gears from trucking to Trump like that, just off the cuff, because truly, it is incredibly frustrating that this stuff is in front of our faces. It's hard. Let's take a breath.
Okay, so coming up next, dealing with dementia. It's confusing. It's super stressful when a loved one is diagnosed. We know this from firsthand experience. So we have some expert advice for caregivers from the Alzheimer's Society of BC when we come back.
So stay tuned for that. And let's take a breath and have a little bit of fun with our viewing party. Yes, you can get in on it. Lou's in on it from North Cowichan.
In her pajamas.
Hi.
Also Mackenzie. Hi, Mackenzie.
Fantastic. Love that. Mary in Victoria. Thanks for playing along, Mary.
And also we have Paul. We appreciate you sending in the photos, showing us your face and telling us where you're from, except for Paul didn't tell us.
Get in on it. Viewing party at CHEKmedia.ca. Enter to win a BCRFA gift card. Today, it's Tap and Barrel.